Hello friends, today we will be looking at the different feature. This time I will be discussing on RMAN database duplication from backups with no target connection. So what is no target connection? So actually we are not pulling the backups from the target being the primary server. So we are not connecting our secondary server to the primary server. What we are doing is following the same steps of manual cloning, but in this case it is a lot easier. We are not performing the granular steps. What we will be doing is just taking the backup on primary, same as what we did on in manual cloning, and then transferring that backup to secondary server, modifying our p file, and then running the RMAN duplicate command. So what I have already done is took the database backup, and that is compressed backup, transferred all the files, all the data files including the container databases, pluggable database, as well as the PDB seed, and transferred it into /aura data /backups, and then I will proceed for further actions. Okay. So as you all might be knowing, if you're following my videos and the video series, 10.168 is my primary server. Let me clear the screen. Let me exit out of SQL Plus, clear the screen, and this is the secondary server. Okay. So let me show you that what is currently set up and where the backups are located. So on my case, this is the primary 10.168, as I already have informed you. Let's check the process. Okay, so process is running fine. This is multi-tenant environment, as I have already shown you before. PDBs. Okay, eventually when we will do the RMAN duplicate, everything will be the database. What RMAN duplicate will do is RMAN will restore the database, including the SP file, including the not SP file, but actually including the control file, the data files into the specific location. Okay, we'll modify the location according to our parameters in the P file, and recover the database including the archive log, and then open the database using reset logs. So all these steps what we did perform manually before in the manual cloning will be done by RMAN duplicate with no target connection. And this is what usually what actually process a real environment follows, and the production environment when you will see anywhere in the world in any projects as well. Okay, they won't be connecting to the target itself usually. There is another method, that is active duplication, in which you would need to actually transfer the you would need to fetch the backups from the primary, right? In that case, yes, there will be a network requirement, okay, network bandwidth requirement, uh, as well as good database machine as well is required. Okay, there will be problem with the performance too, but that is on and off activities usually done in non-business hours. Okay, so that is not a big problem. Okay, let's move on. So we validated everything. I have already taken the backup. I have transferred it into the secondary server. I have taught you how to take the backups and how to transfer it. For more information, you can watch my manual cloning videos and go to the specific section, and then watch how to take the backup and then move the backup to the secondary location. So moving on, let me show you where the backups are located. Aura data. Okay, I will list it. So all the backups are available here. Let's get the Aura tab file. This is very much required. because this actually locates the Oracle home. This is how we use the variable to move to different location in the home directory itself. This is how this parameter Oracle underscore home, when you see that it's set in the path, when you say cd dollar Oracle underscore home, you actually navigate to this directory. Okay, so now you see that the upcoming or future database I'm trying to get is PAT. This is what I'm thinking of creating, right? A PAT database. That's why I named it. How did I get this complete thing? You usually get this thing either using either using the previous activities if you might have done and have not deleted the ORATAB file, or the second part is you get ORATAB file after you complete your Oracle universal installer at that, and then at the end of it, it will give you two scripts, that is o install, as well as the other script is root.sh. Okay, so both of them has to run. In the root.sh file, it actually creates this ORATAB file with the empty details. For details, you would need to go to the primary server, just query or find out the details from cat aura /etc/ORATAB file, and then copy and paste it here and change the value, right? So in the primary server, it's production, this is PAT. Okay, the naming convention I'm following this because this is a lot easier to remember, and this is not a real environment as well. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to DBS location. Okay, so we navigated to DBS. Let's list it. Okay, let's VI. So in case if you guys do not have any files available here, okay, what you need to do is go to the primary server. Okay, go to the DBS location. You will see the file init prod, right? When you generate the file, or if the file is already there, then either you can transfer the details or you can create the file with the database name. Okay, make sure that wherever you are, so let's say you are in PAT, as we saw the entry, right? So this has to be init pat.ora. This is the naming convention, right? Init means p file, then the name of the database SID, and .ora file. Okay, one more important thing is, let's cat init prod. You see a lot of things here. I am mostly concentrating on the directory structure, because what happens is the procedure Oracle follows and Oracle binary follows, and that's how the duplicate command as well as cloning command, right? You saw clone.pl, as well as the Oracle architecture is made like that, where when you are doing the duplicate or cloning, right, as you all might be knowing that the data files and data file and control file header contains the database ID as well as the location and everything, right? It contains all the details. Now when you are actually transferring this file, the backups from here, the primary, and restoring on this server, right, as I have already informed you in the cloning lecture, that while restoring, Oracle will try to look for the location found on the data files header as well as control file header, right? Those folder structure or the directory structure will be this. Okay, and this and this, all these, right? If it doesn't find on the secondary server, then it will throw error saying that it is not able to restore the files into the specific location, and the reason being that these directory structure does not exist, right? And for that you guys need to create all the directories, right? So what we will do is let's start creating the directories. So this is very important, otherwise Oracle will throw error. So let's create this directory mkdir-p. It's done. What other directory structure is needed? For this you don't need to worry, because we will be changing this to pat, okay, as well as this pat as well. So what I will do, I will explicitly mention this complete parameter in the p file, okay? So don't worry about this location. Then /oradata/fra is already available, as I know, and Oracle base is there. Other than this, nothing is required. This parameter is very important, so it should be there in p file as well, okay? So this will be in p file, these two will be in p file if you want a fra location, okay, and db recovery file dest location. This parameter will be there in the p file of the secondary server, okay? This has not to be there, that is okay. Other than this, everything looks fine. So we will go to that server. As I have already informed that you can copy and paste, create the file using vi editor and save init pad.ora, but I already have the entries as well, so I'll show you. So db name is very important. Make sure this entry should be there. Control file should be there, but I will change the name to pat. I'll make sure this directory is available, okay, otherwise there will be a problem. I'll create these directories, that's what I said, okay? In there it was /oradata/prod, but we don't want to create prod, right? We need to create pat. That's what I am thinking of, making a naming convention rather than prod, right? Because this is pat database. Now these two parameter was not there on the initial database, the primary database, right? You don't see anything here, but you see it here. Why is that? Because during the restoration we want our directory structure to be changed. So what we are saying is, while restoring the database files, when you see /oradata/prod in the headers of control file and data files, change it to this, change it to new name, okay? Same as when you are storing the log files, redo logs, when you see this location, change it to this. So that's what it means. I will enter here and paste the location and FRA location as well. Copy, paste it. Thing looks fine. Okay, we will save it. This is done. Let's change the environment variable, because we are about to start the activity. We have done the initial step of creating the directory, modifying the parameter file. So env pat is already there. In your case there might be different database name, okay? So change it. That's done. Let's log into SQL Plus. Good. And let's mount it. Startup no mount. So it will use the parameter file, and it should no mount the database. Everything looks fine. Exit out of it. Let's go to rman target. So this is not target slash. So what we need to say in this case, because in rman duplicate, auxiliary is the current database. So what we are doing is we are using rman duplicate on this specific auxiliary database, okay? So this current database is auxiliary, that is pat, okay? So you need to say, this is what the thing is, okay, it identified pat using the parameter file. It is not mounted as we already know. Now we need to issue the command. What command we need to issue is duplicate target database to pat backup location slash aura data slash backups. So I'll make you understand what it is trying to say. This is kind of, it can confuse sometimes what it is trying to say, because currently we are not connecting to target being the primary database, right? And the auxiliary means the current database. That's what it is, right? So target is primary, which is this, and auxiliary means this, where we are. But because we are using backups from primary, that's how these commands and the script has been created. So you need to say duplicate target database. Okay, so you're trying to say is make sure you duplicate from the backups. That's what it's trying to say. To the pat database, name will be pat. Okay, and find the backup location to this one. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's enter this and let's see how it goes. If there is error, there can be error, okay, because after all I'm a human being as well. So if there is no error, then there is no issue, right? We will complete everything, and after that we don't need to worry about any manual step, because it will perform all the stuff whatever we did in cloning manually. And you will find that it will change the location from slash aura data slash backups. It might throw the error. I'm thinking of one of the error it can throw, mkdir. Before that it throws slash data slash pat. I am thinking, oh no, so it has done its work. Wow. So yeah, it is changing the slash, changing prod to pat. You see this? You don't need to type this, whatever I did here. It has done its work. I'm not going to pause the video. You guys need to see what is happening. So it's changing into the new name, to the new directory structure. That is why we gave the parameter, right? Saying db file name convert and log file name convert. First it restored the root data files to its proper location. Now it has created a subdirectory, that is pdb seed, and restored the data files for pdb seed under it. Now it will restore the pluggable database as well, that can be an application database, right? That's what it's doing now. It will restore, it will recover, it will open the database with reset logs. So you guys can actually compare this to the manual steps, and you will think that we will always use this particular step, right? But sometimes what happens that people use the manual step as well. It is according to the project requirements. I hope this particular video made sense to you, because we already completed manual cloning, so we can compare and contrast, right? So everything looks fine. What it did is it has opened the pluggable databases as well. It opened the database with reset logs. Whatever we did manually, it did that, performed those steps. We will run SQL plus /sysdba, and in the current situation, in because in manual cloning you guys saw that we had to run NID utility to change the database name, right? Because we actually restored the same production database and changed using the NID utility to patty database. But in this current scenario, Armand duplicate will do all the steps for you. Okay, so PDBs database is open in read write mode. Okay, let's check the database name. I think you guys are fine with the steps, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.